I'm not proud of how this began. It wasn't brave. It wasn't planned. It just happened. I read my daughter's text out loud. Slowly. Like maybe saying it out loud would make it make sense. We're going to my in-laws' house. They matter more. That was it. No, sorry. No explanation. Just that I sat there with my phone in my hand, staring at the screen like it owed me an apology, like it might buzz again and say, "Just kidding, Mom. You know how I am," but it didn't. It stayed quiet. Too quiet. The microwave clock was blinking again. The stupid blinking. I'd meant to fix it months ago. I never did. That little green light kept flashing in the corner of my eye, like it was keeping time on something I didn't want to measure. I didn't cry. Not then. That came later, in pieces. I opened my banking app. No drama. No big speech. Just muscle memory. The same way I used to open spreadsheets at work. Calm hands, familiar steps. I froze the accounts. Not all of them. Just the ones tied to her name. The cards I had added in case of emergencies. The transfers I never talked about because I didn't want to make things awkward. I stared at the confirmation screen for a long second. Then another. My finger hovered. Like I might undo it right there. I told myself I'd reverse it in the morning. I swear I believed that. Be honest, if your kid said that to you, what? Would you answer? Or would you go quiet like I did? My name is Marlo Whitaker, 70 years old. That night, I set my phone face down on the table and went to bed pretending everything was normal. I didn't know yet that by morning, pretending would no longer be an option. I've always been the quiet fixer. Bills, deadlines, no fuss. I pay things before they're due. I smooth things over before anyone notices the wrinkle. That's been my role for so long, I stopped seeing it as a choice. I told myself the text didn't mean what it sounded like. I told myself Rowan was stressed. Holidays do that to people. Families get complicated. I've said those words for years, like a spell that might keep things calm if I repeat it enough. So I called her anyway. She answered fast, but not for me. Music was loud. Glasses clinked. Someone laughed right near the phone. Not a warm laugh, a sharp one, like it belonged to the room, not to us. "Mom," she said, distracted. "What's up?" "I just wanted to talk," I said. I hated how small my voice sounded. "About Christmas," she sighed. Not angry. Worse, impatient. "We'll do something later." "Okay," she said. "I'm kind of busy right now. Later." Like I was a dentist appointment she needed to reschedule. Like I was a chore she'd circle back to if time allowed. "I already told you the plan," she added. "It's not a big deal." Behind her, someone laughed again, louder this time. A man, I think. That sound stuck. It dug in and stayed. It wasn't cruel. It was casual. Like I didn't exist in that space at all. "I just thought I started..." "Mom," she said, sharper now. "Can we not do this tonight?" Something in me went still. I didn't argue. I didn't explain. I didn't apologize either. "I'll let you go," I said. I hung up first. That was new for me. My thumb pressed the screen before my head caught up. And once it was done, I didn't undo it. I sat there after, phone quiet, house quiet, telling myself I was overreacting. I've told myself that for years. It's easier than admitting you're defending someone who already left the room. Have you ever defended someone who wasn't even in the room anymore? Morning came like nothing happened. That annoyed me. The world didn't pause just because my chest felt tight. My coffee tasted burnt. I drank it anyway. I always do. I sat down at the kitchen table and opened my laptop. Same spot, same password. I've logged into bank accounts my whole adult life. This wasn't new. That almost made it worse. I clicked into the account Rowan used, the joint one. The one I labeled emergency years ago because that made me feel like a good mother. Like I was being responsible instead of afraid. My hand shook when I hovered over the card settings. I dropped the mouse. It hit the table with a soft knock. I stared at it for a second, like it had betrayed me, then picked it back up, just in case. I whispered. I remembered saying that when I handed her the card. Just in case rent was late. Just in case the car broke down. Just in case life got unfair. Life had gotten unfair. Just not in the way I expected. I clicked lock card. A box popped up. Neutral colors. Clean font. No judgment. This card will be temporarily disabled. Temporarily? That word did a lot of work. I hit confirm. The screen refreshed. A green checkmark appeared. Everything about it was calm. Too calm. Like the system had done this 1,000 times already and didn't care why. I closed my eyes and counted to 5, then to 10. I waited for panic to hit. For guilt. For some big emotional wave. It didn't come. Not yet. I told myself this was temporary. I meant it. Kind of. I told myself I'd unlock it once she cooled down, once we talked. Once I explained. I was very good at building bridges that only I ever crossed. My phone sat face down on the table. Silent. I didn't flip it over. I sat there with my hands in my lap. Heart beating slow and loud. Wondering when saying no started feeling like betrayal instead of survival. Is it still love if you're scared to say no? I finished my coffee, even though it tasted wrong, and waited for the day to show me what I'd just started. The knock wasn't polite. It wasn't careful. It was sharp and loud, like whoever was on the other side expected an answer, not a conversation. I opened the door, and there she was. Rowan, standing too straight, phone already in her hand, coat half buttoned like she'd rushed. She didn't smile. My card isn't working, she said. That was it. No hello. I waited, just a beat. Long enough to see if she'd add anything. She didn't. You didn't answer my calls, she said next. Like that was the real problem here. I was asleep. I said, that wasn't true. I just didn't correct her. She stepped forward like she was going to walk past me. I didn't move. That surprised both of us. We stood there, facing each other. The door still open. She frowned. Mom, can I come in? I'm in a hurry. I noticed her perfume then. Sharp. Expensive. It didn't belong in my hallway. It smelled like somewhere loud. Somewhere I wasn't invited. You didn't ask how I am, I said. She blinked, annoyed. Are you okay? The words were right. The tone wasn't. My card, she said again. Did you change something? I locked it. I said. Her face shifted, not hurt. Calculating. Why would you do that? She asked. That card is for emergencies. I know, I said. I gave it to you. She sighed hard. Okay. Well, I need the password. The bank app logged me out. I didn't answer right away. That pause did something. Her jaw tightened. Don't do this, she said. I don't have time for games. They aren't games, I said. My voice stayed steady. That surprised me. Her phone buzzed. She glanced at it, then back at me. Just give me the login. I'll fix it. No, I said. That word landed between us. Heavy. Her voice rose. Are you seriously doing this right now? I looked at her. Really looked. She hadn't come worried. She hadn't come soft. She'd come angry. If someone shows up angry before they show up worried, what does that tell you after she left? The house felt louder. Not sound. Pressure. Like something was still arguing with me even after the door shut. I sat down and opened the statements. I didn't ease into it. I went straight to the last 3 months. That's how my brain works. Start where the damage is freshest. The charges stacked fast. Spa packages. Dinners that cost more than my weekly groceries. Ride shares at hours I was already asleep. A line labeled family expenses that kept repeating like a joke no one explained to me. I heard my old office voice kick in. Flat. Focused. Counting without mercy. Add this. Carry that. Don't flinch. There it was. A weekend trip. 2 nights. Nice hotel. I remembered that weekend. I'd stayed home. Ate leftovers 3 nights in a row because I didn't feel like cooking. I remember thinking I was being sensible. She never mentioned the trip. Never asked. Never said thank you after. I scrolled back further. The pattern didn't change. It just got louder, more confident. Like whoever was spending knew there would always be more. I whispered, "You didn't even ask." And it came out sharper than I expected. She hadn't asked because she didn't think she had to. I wasn't part of the decision. I was the background. The account. The quiet fix that reset itself. A notification popped up. Balance updated. Another dinner. Another assumption. I closed my eyes and rubbed my forehead. I wasn't shaking anymore. That scared me more than the shaking ever did. I felt stupid. Not because of the amount. I could handle the math. I always could. What hurt was realizing this wasn't an emergency anymore. It was a lifestyle. One built on the idea that I'd stay quiet forever. I told myself I was generous. I told myself this was love. Looking at the numbers, it felt more like permission. Permission I never meant to give. What hurt you more, the spending, or realizing they never planned to stop? Rowan left her tablet on my kitchen table. I noticed it right away. Thin, expensive, face down, like it didn't want to be seen. I told myself I'd hand it back later. I even slid it a little farther from my coffee mug, like I was protecting it. Then it lit up. Just a small flash. Not dramatic. A notification banner creeping across the dark screen. I didn't touch it at first. I stood there pretending to rinse a cup that was already clean. The subject line had my address in it. That's what pulled me in. Not curiosity, recognition. I picked up the tablet. My hands were steady, which felt wrong. I unlocked it without thinking. She never changed the passcode. I used to tease her about that. The email opened. Property appraisal request. Timeline estimate. Market value range. I scrolled. Assisted living placement options. Availability confirmed. Guardian signature required. I read it once. Then again, slower. Like I was processing a crime scene, not an inbox. My house, my name, my life. Reduced to bullet points and polite language. No feelings, no context. Just logistics. Guardian signature, I said out loud. The words tasted bad. There was no mention of asking me. No conversation planned. No concern about whether I wanted any of this. Just a clean path forward that didn't include my voice. I sat down hard. The chair scraped, loud, ugly. This wasn't about money anymore, or holidays, or hurt feelings. This was about removal. About deciding I was an obstacle that needed to be managed. I felt sick, not sad. Sick. Like my body knew something my head was still catching up to. I closed the tablet and pushed it away from me like it might bite. All those years I told myself I was helping, being patient, being understanding. Standing back so she could stand taller. Turns out I'd been standing in the wrong place the whole time. If you found proof your own kid was planning your exit, would you confront them or protect yourself first? I called Inez from my kitchen. I hadn't spoken to her in years. Not because we'd fought, because I didn't need her. Or I pretended I didn't. She answered on the second ring. "Marlo," she said, like she already knew this wasn't a social call. "I need help." I said. My voice cracked once. Just once. I hated that it happened at all. "All right," she said. No judgment. "Start at the beginning." So I did. Short sentences. Facts. Dates. Accounts. The tablet. The email. The phrase guardian signature required landed hard when I said it out loud. There was a pause. Not a long one. Just enough to feel weight shift. "Okay," Inez said. "Then we don't wait. We went step by step. No yelling. No drama, just logistics. Who's on the title? Just me. Good. Who has account access? She does. Not anymore. She told me what to click, what to sign, what to lock, titles secured, permissions revoked, notices drafted, clean lines drawn where I'd left everything blurry. You understand? She said, "This will upset them." I know, I said. And I did. I felt calm in a way that scared me. Not relieved, focused. Like something in me had finally stood up straight after years of leaning. Don't warn her, Inez added. Not yet. I won't, I said. That part was deliberate. When the call ended, I sat there holding my phone like it might ring again. It didn't. The silence didn't feel empty this time. It felt contained. I wasn't fixing things for anyone else anymore. I was protecting myself. Is planning ahead cold? Or just late Christmas night was quiet? I left the television on, volume low, just to have something breathing in the room besides me. I wasn't watching. I was listening for my phone. It started buzzing around 7, then again, then again. I didn't pick it up. I flipped it face down and let it keep going like an alarm no one planned to answer. Later, I heard what happened, not from her. From someone else who thought I already knew. The story came in pieces. Dinner was late. The check came early. A card didn't go through. Try it again, Rowan said, apparently smiling too hard. It should work, Evan said, louder than necessary. Another card. Same result. Someone laughed. Not kindly. Someone else whispered. That sharp whisper people use when they don't want to be heard but want to be noticed. The in-law mother asked, "Is there a problem?" The waiter said, "It's declining, calm, public." I pictured Rowan standing there, phone in hand, posture stiff, pretending nothing was wrong while everything was. I pictured her saying my name under her breath like a curse. More buzzing. Missed calls stacking up. No messages yet. Just pressure. I didn't feel happy. That surprised me. I thought there'd be a rush, vindication, something dramatic. Instead, I felt steady, like the floor stopped moving after a long time at sea, like the truth finally picked a shape and stood in the open where everyone could see it. The television laughed in the background. I muted it, sat there in the quiet. My hands didn't shake. My chest didn't ache the way it used to. I knew she'd come back. Not tonight. Not politely. But soon, and for the first time, I wasn't rehearsing what to say. Is it wrong to feel relieved when the truth finally shows itself? They came back loud, not knocking this time, banging. Evan's voice carried through the door first. Angry, sharp, Rowan right behind him, higher, frantic. "Open the door!" she yelled. "You can't do this!" I opened it just enough to stand in the frame. I didn't invite them in. Evan noticed that immediately. "You ruined us," he said. "No hello? No pause. Do you have any idea what you did?" Rowan stepped forward. Her face was red. Not makeup red, real red. "They humiliated us," she said. Everyone saw. "I didn't make you lie," I said. "That's not the point," Evan snapped. "You cut us off on Christmas. You said you didn't need me." I said, "You said they mattered more." Rowan flinched at that. Just a little. "This isn't about feelings," Evan said. "This is about money." I nodded. "Exactly." I reached behind me and picked up the envelope from the table. Red, plain, thick. I handed it to Rowan. "What is this?" she asked. "Open it," I said. She did. Papers slid out. Not gently. Totals first. 5 years. Every transfer, every card, every quiet fix. The number at the bottom wasn't dramatic. It didn't need to be. Then the emails, the appraisal, the assisted living options. The phrase guardian signature required underlined in ink that wasn't hers. Rowan's breath hitched. "Mom, and the notice." I said. She pulled it out last. Eviction. 3 days. Clean. Legal. Her knees buckled. She sank down, right there on the porch, crying hard. Not angry crying, ugly crying. Real. I didn't mean it like that, she said between sobs. I was just trying to plan. You were planning my exit. I said. Evan stepped forward. You can't just throw them out. I can. I said, and I am. Rowan reached for my leg. I stepped back. I'm not letting you in, I said. Not tonight. She looked up at me, eyes swollen. Where are we supposed to go? That's not my problem anymore, I said. I closed the door myself. Slow. Steady. My hands didn't shake. Behind it, the shouting faded into crying, then into nothing. Could you shut the door if opening it meant disappearing again? Months passed. Not in a clean way. In pieces. I moved into a smaller place. Fewer rooms, less echo. The quiet here doesn't argue with me. It just exists. That helps more than I thought it would. Rowan texts sometimes. Short ones. Careful words. Hope you're well. Thinking about you. No demands, no passwords, no emergencies. I read them. I don't always answer. When I do, I keep it plain. I'm okay. Take care. I don't explain myself anymore. That used to feel cruel. Now it feels honest. I still haven't decided what forgiveness looks like. I know what it doesn't look like. It doesn't look like money. It doesn't look like pretending nothing happened. It doesn't look like reopening doors just because the knocking got softer. Tonight I make soup for one. I let the bottom burn a little. I eat it anyway. I've learned you don't need perfection to be fed. I don't miss the money. That surprises people when I say it out loud. What I miss is who I thought she was. The version of my daughter I defended when she wasn't even around. Letting that go hurts more than any balance sheet ever did. I've replayed my choices. The hesitation. The locks. The envelope. I'm not proud of all of it. I'm not ashamed either. I did what I could with what I knew at the time. Sometimes that's all you get. Here's the part I'll say out loud, because someone needs to hear it. Love without limits can turn into permission, and permission can hollow you out. Saying no doesn't mean you stopped loving. It means you started surviving. If this story sounds familiar, if you're sitting with the same kind of decision, talk about it, leave a comment, tell me where you're stuck. We learn faster when we stop pretending we're alone. I'm not cruel, I'm not brave, I'm just here, still deciding. If you were me, would you reopen the door or leave it the way it is?